we're going to go ahead and get started with this review. It's going to be like regular notes. I'm going to do one example. You're going to pause the video and do the examples that I told you. Do not keep watching the video until you have done the examples I told you, because then it's just going to be me going over the problems and you're not going to have any time to practice. Okay, you probably will not finish today, so the videos will be uploaded on YouTube and you can finish there if you have a chance and want to make a good grade on your GCP. The first thing we're going to start with is we're going to brain dump on our STAR reference sheet. So for this review, I don't want you to use your notes at all. I just want you to practice using this STAR reference sheet because that's all you're going to have on the actual test. So we're going to go ahead and start with circles. And you know that for circumference means around, okay, distance around. And you know that there's two formulas, so it just depends on what kind of circle they gave you. So if they gave you radius, which is from the center out, you're going to use this formula, C equals 2 pi r. And you know 2 pi means 6.28 times radius, okay? If they gave you diameter, that would be the length, the line from one end to the other end of the circle. Then you use the formula C equals pi times d, okay? And remember, pi always equals, it's down here, 3.14. For triangles, the only thing we're going to update is base times height divided by 2, because you know that you could use that as well. Remember that this also means square. So this is also the formula for a square, rectangle, or parallelogram. And then for circle, remember that that means space or covered, and many other words for area. Always remember that the difference between these two is this one is for circumference, that's why it has a C. This one is for area, that's why it has an A. So instead we're going to change this to, this is for a full circle, we're going to change it to A equals pi RR, okay? If you are given a half circle or a semicircle, so we're going to write semi, you're going to use A equals pi RR divided by 2. If you are given a, let me see if I can write this, a quarter circle, you're going to use A equals pi RR divided by 4 because it's 1/4 of a full circle, okay? Remember that for volume, we do use our 4-column process chart. So V equals big B times H for prisms. We don't use that column right there. Big B means area of the base, okay? And then remember, we always replace big B with whatever base formula we have. For pyramids, you're going to go ahead and use the second column, and it's divide by 3, base times height. Big B times height. And remember, again, big B is area of the base. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our first problem. Here is the STAR reference sheet. If you need to pause it one last time and get whatever you need to get from here. Let me just wait until that. There we go. Okay, so the first problem, we don't need our STAR reference sheet. It's just a word problem, so let's go ahead and get this solved. To solve it, there's really no math. You just need to read each answer choice and see which one would match. So 46, I know it's a little bit blurry, 46 plus 21H equals 146. So I know that the words per or each, every, have to be attached to 21 because that's where my variable is. That's what I'm multiplying. So a car repair shop charges 46 for parts and 21 per hour. So we know that this is my variable, 21H. We're adding 46. What is the number of H hours the car was worked on if the total bill, we know that that's our total, that's what goes at the end, was 146. So we know that this one matches. It doesn't matter that 46 is over here, that's just the way I wrote it, but it would still match this equation. So we know that that could be an answer, but let's focus on why the other ones are wrong. So Sarah bought several hats online that each cost 46. So that means 46 is attached to our x because each is right next to 46. So that means B cannot be our answer because 46 was alone in our equation. Harry worked out for 20 minutes each day for 46 days in a row. Well, if he works out 21 minutes each day and it's 46 days, that means we're multiplying 21 times 46 because that's how many days he worked out. So we know that we're not multiplying those two numbers, we're adding them, so that cannot be your answer. Elijah had 146. He gave, that means minus. There's no negatives in our equation, so that cannot be our answer because that would have been 146. He gave $21 away to his mom, and then he lent, which also means minus, 46 to his brother. What is H, the amount of money Elijah has left? So what we would try to find would be the end result H. H is actually supposed to be attached to a number, so we know that that cannot be your answer. So A is your only possible answer. Go ahead and do number 2, pause the video, and go ahead and do number 3. All right, so number 4, we have inequalities. So Ariel has saved $400 to spend on Wii games. The Wii costs $275 and the game costs $39 each. So I know this is my X. So $275 plus, because he has to buy the Wii, and then he has to go ahead and buy a game or more than that, so plus 39x. Which inequality represents the number of x Ariel can buy? So he only has $400. He cannot spend more than 400. So this, whatever he has to, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, can't even see. Whatever he has to buy, sorry about that. Whatever he has to buy has to be less than $400. So less than or equal to, because he can spend $400. So we know that, and it's kind of written like this. Plus 39x. We know that this one has 275x. That would mean he would buy more than one Wii and just one game. That's not logical. Okay? This one says that he can spend, whatever he buys, he can spend more than 400. But we know that he only has 400, so he cannot spend that. So that makes it not right. This one could be an answer because it matches our inequality. It's saying that whatever he spends has to be less than or equal to 400, so we can put a line under that. And then this one is very similar to the top one. It just has x attached to 275, which is how much the Wii cost, and we know he's not buying more than one Wii. So that cannot be our answer. So C is our only possible choice. Go ahead and do number 5 on your own. All right, so we have some modeling equations. Remember, for these, you're just going to add what you see. So how many x's do I have? I have 4x. I have plus 6. We know that these are positive because they're not shaded. And they equal, looks like they equal 9. So you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then we're going to go ahead and solve. Remember, draw my line, circle my variable. I'm going to start with whatever is not circled. So minus 6, minus 6. And that gives me, hang on, let me make sure. So plus 6. That would give me 4x is equal to 9 minus 6 is 3. So now I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides. So x is equal to 3/4, or x is equal to 0.75. I want you to go ahead and do 7 and 8. okay, on your own. And then I'll go ahead and do number 9. So now I have x plus 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 x's on this side plus 2. So in this case, we need to make sure that we have all our x's on the same side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and subtract an x from here and subtract it from here, because whatever you do to one side, you have to do it to the other. So that would mean those two x's cancel out, and now I have 4 is equal to, what's 4x minus 1x? That would leave me with 3x plus 2. Now I can go ahead and solve, circle my variable, draw my line, and start with whatever is not circled. So minus 2, minus 2. That leaves me with 4 is equal to 3x, divide by 3, and now I have, I'm sorry, that would be 2, because 4 minus 2 is 2. So 2 over 3 is x. Okay, you're going to make sure you do 7 and 8. So do these two over here.